Hey guys, it's Jenna. I wanted to just touch on my story, my past, and my journey so far with health and fitness and weight loss, and why I started this page called Jenna's Losing It. My journey really starts back in middle school when I really started realizing that I was built differently than other girls, and I did have a lot more muscle, but in my eyes it was, oh, you're just fatter than all your friends. And that's hard in middle school. I was pretty active though. I was on the swim team, and that really helped to keep my weight down. I was burning a ton of calories looking back. I had no idea about calories, what to eat, what not to eat, not gain a ton of weight in middle school. But I was still bigger than all my friends, and in the back of my mind, I think that was always there. So staying pretty active going into high school. I was on the swim team for high school, and I played other sports recreationally. But I think that once I started, I think it was like show choir, and we were all like getting sized for our dresses, and really starting to notice that I was bigger than my friends. But I also had a lot of self-confidence. I was never one that had low self-esteem because I was bigger than my friends, and I just always had like skinny friends, so maybe that was it too. But anyway, so into high school, it didn't really catch up with me. I was probably like in the 140s, 150s through high school, and then I went to college, and I stayed around in the 160s. I can remember weighing myself and being a little more cognizant of what was going on. In college, I stayed home. I lived with my parents, and I went to school full-time, and I worked full-time. And that was a pretty stressful time in my life. I also had a very tumultuous relationship. When I was feeling happy, sad, angry, anything, I just wanted to eat. And now I feel like I struggled with those emotions all the way through college. When I was stressed out, I would eat. When I wasn't stressed out, I would eat. When I was happy, I would eat. I joined a sorority, and I remember one time coming home with one of my friends, and we had like a dozen donuts, and we're like, yeah, we're going to eat all these donuts. And one of the girls was like, and that's why you're fat. And I can distinctly remember that like cut me, because nobody had ever like openly been like, you're fat. It was really just me in my own head. And when she said that, looking back, she was no skinny girl, and probably just, really was expressing how she felt about herself on me. But no, I wasn't skinny at the time, and so that did hurt my feelings. So this is into college. Then I went to grad school, where I continued to work full-time and go to grad school. So that was still stressful. So I'm stress eating. But I managed to start my student teaching, which was after grad school, my very last semester of school. I was taking a lot of diet pills at this time. I was drinking a lot of caffeine, a lot of weird fizzy drinks that are supposed to help with weight loss, trying everything I could to starve myself in the mornings, and then by the afternoon and the evening I'd be binge eating everything in sight. That was kind of my MO. And that summer, before I started my teaching job, I ended up breaking up with my boyfriend of very long time, and meeting my now husband, then just blind date, and we both just got so happy and comfortable with ourselves. We also really didn't know a lot about nutrition and healthy eating, and we just knew that each other was the one. We were very happy. We didn't fight. This was unlike any relationship I had before. And we both just we went out to eat a lot. We ate a lot of fried foods. We made fried chicken wings in our apartment. I mean, we lived it up. We went out to eat probably most nights of the week, and it was not healthy food. I was doing a carb cycling diet at the time that managed to really keep my weight under control, and I was feeling really good. When we met, I probably felt the best I'd felt in a long time. And meaning like the best I felt with the way I looked with my body. I don't think I had tons of energy, and it was pretty hard to not eat a lot of carbs. My body didn't feel that great, but I liked the way that I was looking. And then we continued to eat whatever we wanted. A few years go by. We get married. I didn't feel my best on my wedding day, but I still felt pretty, and I felt like a bride. And And I was happy with it. Fast forward a year into our marriage, we started trying to have a baby. And of course I was like, oh, this will be nothing. This will be quick. You never think you're the one that's going to have trouble conceiving. But we were that couple. We tried for probably 2.5 to 3 years before we did get pregnant with our daughter, McKenna. We went to a fertility specialist. I ended up having endometriosis. And at that point in my fertility journey, I gave up on myself because, well, I was mad at myself for having a problem that every single month was thrown back in my face when we didn't get pregnant. Not by my husband at all. He was very supportive, but by myself. And I was fed up with myself, and I was treating my body like crap because I didn't feel good on the inside, so I didn't care what I looked like on the outside. I am not like an outwardly emotional person. Like, I'm not going to go cry to somebody to get relief. I would rather just bottle it up inside. And that definitely was a cycle, I guess you would say. When I was sad, I would eat. When I was happy, I would eat. I was sad a lot during this time because, we just really, really wanted a baby. And I started to think, are we just going to have to adopt? Like, what's going to happen? What's the next step? I'm also a super impatient person anyway, so that didn't really help. But at the time, I didn't care. I was like, this body is not giving me a baby. This body, once I do get pregnant, then I'm just going to ruin my body anyway. I'm just going to be huge. So who cares about losing weight now? And that is just such a bad attitude to have, although I didn't know it at the time. So my husband and I were trying to have this baby, focused completely and solely on that. But we also knew, and I was seeing some pictures at the time, the things that I did not like. I thought I really looked one way, and I would see a picture and be shocked at the results of that picture. I would be like, that is not me. No way. Like, I let myself really this is out of control. And I knew that I had a lot of weight. I knew I had weight to lose. I didn't know how much. I also knew I had muscle. So I knew that the scale was always going to be high. I was never going to weigh 110 pounds. So anyway, me and my husband decided we really just we both want to get healthy. We need to find a place where we both can get healthy and do it the right way. Sat us in his office and looked at both of us and was like, well, you guys have a lot of, I think he said, a thick layer of blubber or something like that. There's a thick layer of fat covering your muscles, basically. And first of all, my husband, who just thinking, he's like a power lifter. So he's thinking, oh, the bigger I get, the stronger I am. And looking back, we both know that was not the case. And he was like, well, if we can just get that fat off, that would be great. So our goal here is to lose body fat. He gave us a nutrition plan, which was completely clean eating. And he gave us these workouts that was literally like, get your heart rate to 130 and just maintain it for 45 minutes. The workouts were seemingly so easy on paper. We would go out there and we would be running around together out in our field at home, and we would literally be trotting at the slowest jog you've ever seen, and our heart rate's in the right zone. We were so out of shape and just did not have a clue. This was really the beginning of my weight loss to permanent weight loss, if that makes sense. I had tried a lot of things and yo-yo dieted in the past, but this was really the first time that the weight was coming off so slowly. And I kept going. I usually always gave up on myself. Might have had something to do with my support system of my husband. And we just dove on into this world. So this was in September of 2011. And then by December of 2011, we were pregnant. And the craziest thing was we got pregnant naturally. So I had lost about 8 pounds at this point from September to December, which was the slowest weight loss I had ever experienced on a diet. So I just kept going. I just kept plugging away at it. And by December, the doctors were shocked that we had conceived naturally. And then 9 months later, after a really healthy pregnancy, luckily Luckily, I was sick a lot of my pregnancy. I didn't have crazy cravings, but I also had that basis of like what clean eating was. And I really stuck to it, not to lose weight, but just to have a healthy pregnancy. So after I had McKenna, I knew I had lost the weight pretty quickly after I had her. I didn't feel unhappy with my body. I was so proud that I carried this baby, and I didn't have the typical like pregnancy weight loss story. My weight gain was all before pregnancy, and then after pregnancy I kind of was just about the same size. And I just knew that I wanted to continue the healthy eating, but I didn't really like going to that gym. It was a very male dominated gym. It was really for powerlifters, and I felt out of place there. It wasn't pretty, and I didn't feel good going there. So, I knew I needed to find something else. Well, my best friend decided that she was going to do something called the 21-day fix. And once she told me, she didn't even have to say the whole title of the program. I was in. I love trying new things, but once she told me that it was clean eating and portion control and you could work out at home, I was definitely in, because I hated that gym that I was going to, and I really wanted to continue that lifestyle, but in a different way. And I knew I needed the support. Now, I wouldn't be working out with my husband. So when she told me that there would be an accountability group of women online who are all doing the program together, I was like, well, this would be perfect. This is exactly what I need. So we jumped into the program. The first 21 days, it was so weird because I felt full, but I wasn't eating junk, and my body felt so energized because I was fueling it correctly. So I was so excited about the results I was seeing. I lost 8 pounds in the first 21 days, and then we did another round. And by the end of the second round, I was already sharing my journey online just through my regular Jenna Facebook page. And my friends and all these people I went to high school with were just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is awesome. I knew by the second month I wanted to be a coach for the discount on my Shakeology. So I was already a coach, and I was like, how do I sell this to someone? So I found out that all I needed to do was send them my link. They could order the program, and I was naturally becoming a coach. So once I sent them the link, I knew that I needed to take care of them. They were going to buy the program. We're in this together. And for me, it was the more the merrier. The more people that join me and are doing this for themselves, like, we are going to motivate each other. So we built this fit family pretty quickly in the first 6 months of my coaching experience, of just people that are all working out together and trying to lose weight and following the 21-day fix and just navigating it together. And I was so excited because the accountability was awesome. I was continuing to share my journey online, and coaching just came so naturally to me. When I find something I love or something that works for me, I am like an oversharer. Like, I want to tell everybody, you got to do this. And I'm pretty convincing and I'm pretty nagging. So I told my friends and my family, like, you got to do this. I got my mom and my dad on board, and it completely changed their lives and their outlooks on food. And I was so happy. So fast forward 2.5 years later, this is what I'm doing. This is my job. I love running these fit accountability groups, and I love sharing my story. And I love when somebody says, like, I tried that tip that you gave me on your Facebook page and it worked. Or I lost 60 pounds. We have challengers that have lost 60 pounds on the 21-day fix who started with us, and it is so cool. I love sharing my story on here with you guys. I love gathering you guys up who just remind me so much of myself 3 years ago, and just telling you, like, there's a better way. There's a better way to do this. You don't have to struggle with your weight loss. You don't have to struggle through it alone. Like, join me. So that's why I host these groups. They keeps me on target. It keeps me accountable. And I hope that if you are struggling to lose the weight, that something resonated with you in this story, and hopefully that you will join my next accountability group, because I promise if you let it, it will change your life.